In Season 3 of his own series, Alan Ritchson's character Jack Reacher is having trouble multitasking. He believes the villain isn't moving rugs, and he has infiltrated Zachary Beck's criminal organization. It turns out to be a drug front instead. Unfortunately, Reacher's emotional state is deteriorating as he targets Francis Xavier Quinn, Zachary's boss. Reacher is making mistakes in the belly of the beast, but the latter is an old foe. Because of the deaths of two people he liked, Reacher finds himself on an even more perilous path in Season 3, Episode 5, SmackDown, which may be his final foray into the field. Cooper deceives Agent Elliot at the cabin where the DA team is holding him captive in this startling Reacher episode. He ambushes and bludgeons the young agent to death after tricking Elliot into giving him a smoke. After discovering the graphic scene, the leader, Duffy, phones Reacher and informs him that Cooper is on his way to the mansion to snitch. Reacher devises a scheme in which Duffy turns off the estate's electricity. Cooper is killed as a result of Reacher going out to defend the property. But there are two sides to this move. Zachary concludes that they have moles in their ranks as a result, and they discover a phone in Annette's room. Surprisingly, she was an ATF agent surreptitiously relaying information to her superiors. She was the maid who developed a bond with Reacher. After Polly, Reacher's giant, kills Annette off-screen, Reacher must clean up the mess when he returns home. Reacher feels bad because he caused these deaths with his actions. He unintentionally led to the search that resulted in Annette's death while defending himself as a spy. Reacher is left planning Polly's murder, but it will be more difficult said than done. In an altercation, Polly beats him to keep him in line. Reacher claims that they ought to have questioned the maid, but Polly is merely a sadist, further escalating their conflict. The fact that Zachary had set them up to meet Quinn is a greater issue than this domestic conflict. However, after Dominique Cole was killed years ago, Reacher violated U.S. Army regulations and believed he had killed Quinn, the murderer. He is now relying on information that Quinn may not remember him due to amnesia. Reacher will be outnumbered, so Duffy cautions him to come up with a reason to skip the meeting. Reacher has acknowledged that it is a death wish, though. Reacher believes that Teresa, the spy Duffy had in the camp months ago, has already been killed by Zachary. With Reacher feeling nothing but anger, he has lost all hope. This is a dramatic departure from the cunning version of him who sought to track down Teresa and free Zachary's defenseless son Richie from the grip of this malevolent empire. Unfortunately, Reacher has forgotten all of that and is now self-centeredly obsessed with a firefight after discovering that Quinn's team is dealing weapons rather than drugs. Reacher's only strategy is to shoot people. In the end, Duffy and her partner, Guillermo, are watching the meeting as Reacher Season 3, Episode 5 concludes. Given his intense emotions, Duffy hopes that this shootout won't be his last one, but Reacher has his gun cocked.